Crazy grocery prices, forget about buying a house, and living paycheck to paycheck is the new normal. Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video with your friends. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Benzinga and written by Aaron Richardson titled, "Americans Struggle as Food Becomes Third Biggest Expense for Household Budgets. See how your budget compares to the average and find ways to save." According to the author, people spend most of their budget on housing, transportation, and food. The Bureau of Labor Statistics revealed that people spent 33.3% of their budget on housing in 2023, 16.8% on transportation, and 12.8% on food. The author went on to reference the U.S. Department of Agriculture, who reported that food prices increased by 5.8% in 2023, while inflation rose by 3.4%. The previous year saw an even steeper increase of 9.9%, which was the highest rate since the late 1970s. This broke down to an 11.4% increase for food at home prices and a 7.7% increase for eating out prices. Well, my friends, I have to wonder if this is sustainable. Many Americans are struggling to afford food for their families. Many are resorting to credit cards and buy now, pay later loans to buy groceries. I've read stories about food pantries with long lines that have run out of food in a short period of time due to demand. Some Walmart stores have started to put steaks inside locked metal cages, and they have started installing security tags to prevent people from stealing the steaks. Budgets are stretched to the max for many American families. I'm going to share with you the most interesting part of this article, which relates to USDA recommendations for how much a family of four should spend on groceries. There are budget categories such as thrifty, moderate, and liberal. A family of four on a thrifty budget should spend about $975 per month. Those on a moderate and liberal budget should spend $1,300 to $1,600. I want you to think about something for a moment. $1,600 per month for groceries equals $19,200 per year. To put this into perspective, the average monthly Social Security retirement benefit for January 2024 was $1,907, or $22,884 per year. Now, many people who are retired and living on Social Security may only have a household of one or two since the kids are grown and moved out. However, that is not always the case. I keep reading articles about adult children moving back in with their parents because they can't afford to rent an apartment anymore, and they are completely priced out of being able to purchase a home. I have no doubt there are people on Social Security who now have long-term house guests in the form of adult children, many of whom may be eating the food that mom and dad buy with their Social Security check each month. Now, I realize Social Security was never designed to replace someone's pre-retirement earnings. Unfortunately, some people are trying to scrape by on Social Security because they never saved for retirement and they can't go back to work because of mental or physical limitations or even because of ageism in the labor market. It frightens me to think about people who may struggle to afford groceries on their fixed income. On the flip side, think about young parents who are working multiple part-time jobs in our new gig economy, struggling to make their student loan payments, car payments, rent payments, child care payments, cell phone payments, car insurance payments, utilities, and now they have to worry about how they are going to pay for the ever-increasing cost of groceries. Are their children going to get the nutrition that they need to develop healthy and strong? It's not like a lot of people can grow a garden. Many people live in neighborhoods with HOAs that don't allow gardens. If there is a community garden, you risk people stealing your vegetables. This happened to my mother last year. Even for those who live in a neighborhood without an HOA, there may not be enough land for a garden. Some of these new developments put the largest house possible on the smallest lot possible. you can extend both of your arms and almost touch your house and your neighbor's house. I worry about what some families are going to do moving forward. I don't see companies lowering prices. I predict we will hear more about greedflation and shrinkflation in the years to come. I think back to the 1971 film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie, his mother, Grandpa Joe, Grandma Josephine, Grandpa George, and Grandma Georgina all lived in a tiny house together and ate cabbage water soup. Is that the future for some families? If it is, I hope they eat red cabbage, since it is often regarded as being healthier than green cabbage. I just wonder how people are going to afford a house for their entire family to live in so they can cook that cabbage water soup. I'll explain why. I read an article on CNBC.com written by Anna Teresa Sola titled, "Home Buyers Need to Earn 80% More Than in 2020 to Afford a House in This Market. It's Not Just Due to High Mortgage Rates." According to the author of this article, 4 years ago, a household earning $59,000 could afford a new mortgage without spending more than 30% of their monthly income with a 10% down payment. In 2024, a typical household makes about $81,000, but it's not enough. Potential homebuyers need to make about $106,500 a year in order to afford a typical home today, which is an 80% increase from January 2020, according to Zillow. The author goes on to talk about the tight supply of homes and the lack of land in some areas to build new homes, which is impacting affordability. Well, my friends, the housing market is a mess. Artificially low interest rates resulted in a mania. Some cities have gone a little crazy with building codes requiring certain architectural features or requiring certain building materials to be used. Some codes require a minimum square footage that is often double or triple what a small home was back in the 1940s or 1950s. Many young people can't afford the homes that are being built today unless they get financial assistance from their parents. People without rich parents are often stuck in an overpriced apartment, and they are doing their best just to keep up with their rent. There is often no way they can save for a home. Sure, there are zero-down VA loans and zero-down USDA loans, but not everyone can qualify for those. Even if you go for an insured conventional 3% down mortgage, you still have closing costs, an appraisal, an inspection, and moving costs. A 3% down payment for the average priced homes in some areas around America is a decent chunk of change. I have to wonder if we are going to become a nation of renters at some point. There are so many apartments being built everywhere, and they all seem to be branded as luxury. Why aren't there basic tiny apartments being built? Some people in this new gig economy are working multiple jobs. Some just come home to take a shower and pass out. They can't actually enjoy their luxury apartment. They are just sleeping there. Maybe some of you watching this video are in this situation. You may be unable to spend much time in your home because you are working so much to keep up. That's the reality for a lot of people in America. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Many people who are working incredibly hard are still living paycheck to paycheck. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Christopher Murray titled, "High Debt is Causing More Consumers to Live Paycheck to Paycheck." The author of this article referenced a recent PYMNTS study which revealed 60% of survey respondents were living paycheck to paycheck. Some people might interpret this as good news since it is down slightly from 2022 when 64% of respondents were living paycheck to paycheck. In my opinion, neither are good news. The percentage of people living paycheck to paycheck is way too high. I know these were just television shows, but I reflect back on Leave It to Beaver, which came out in 1957, or The Brady Bunch, which came out in 1969. In both of these shows, the man went to work and provided a great quality of life for him and his family. What was portrayed as life in America in these shows is a thing of the past and just a dream for some people today. In many cases, both parents are working multiple jobs and still barely scraping by while their children are being raised by reality shows and people that they meet via online video games. Now, some of you might say those old television shows portrayed upper middle class families with high income breadwinners. Well, the study referenced in this article revealed 51% of high-income consumers found themselves living paycheck to paycheck at the end of 2022, and 44% were living paycheck to paycheck in 2023. I know some of you may find this hard to believe, but there are six-figure earners who aren't even living paycheck to paycheck. Some are relying on credit cards to get by. Some have tried to live large and keep up with the Joneses, and it has resulted in them having a mountain of debt that they are struggling to service. Just ask anyone who works in the finance office of a car dealership that deals with the general public on a daily basis. Someone like this will tell you about the terrible financial health of many Americans, even those with a decent income. It's truly sad what is happening. The author of this article referenced a New York Life report which revealed the average credit card debt owed is about $7,931. On the surface, that may not seem like much, but it is problematic given the high level of interest being charged by credit card companies. Many people don't just have credit card debt either. They have student loan debt, vehicle loan debt, mortgage debt, furniture store debt, and buy now, pay later debt. Many Americans are in trouble financially, and I don't see this getting better anytime soon. To my point, the author of this article referenced a Federal Bank of New York report that indicated 8.5% of credit card balances entered delinquency in 2023. Once your credit gets trashed, life in America can become more difficult. My heart goes out to people who are struggling with their personal finances. I hope they are able to get control of the situation moving forward. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.